starfished in between me and Chris. So
Chris Sorry, I think we've only just gone live. I don't think that actually worked properly. Sorry, if this is like coming in the middle of conversation, I'm getting used to having an intro and I don't think it properly went live then. So sorry, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Reading Sprints. For some reason, I just noticed that it said go live and it wasn't live. So we have only been talking for a minute. I was just explaining that I've got a little boy here who didn't go to sleep. So we're already late. And then I've tried to use an intro and it obviously didn't work properly. So sorry to interrupt you. So you've got a little boy waking up at 3 a.m. at the moment.
3 a.m. and the first night he did it, he got in between me and Chris, like fell straight back asleep in our bed, but he kind of starfished in the middle. So me and Chris were kind of like not really sleeping and catching moments and then kind of like waking up as we like fell out of bed. And then last night he woke up at 3 again, but he woke up in a rage and he was just like, no, I'm up this time. So yeah, we're tired as well. Yeah, and Wyatt's still awake, so
it's just an endless struggle. I think that some kids it happens like immediately, doesn't it? In our house, it isn't particularly much of a thing, as you can tell from the fact that he's here and awake and eating cereal and cuddling a penguin. So yeah, pure chaos. I'm going to try and calm down now. Let's talk about what we're going to read, what we're going to do. See who's in the comments and see if I can just like breathe for a second. So I've got my Kindle with me. I'm going to be doing some editing, but I'm feeling quite tired. So if I flake out, I'm hoping to read 9 Liars on my Kindle. The latest Maureen Johnson, which I'm so behind my reading that I think it came out like end of last year, did it? And
I haven't even read it yet. I've read the whole series so far, but I haven't read 9 Lives yet, so you're fine.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I loved all her other books, so I just don't know what happened. But like I said, my reading has just taken a real plummet because I'm writing and editing so much this year. I think reading has just gone right to the bottom of the pile. It's like parenting, writing, day job, reading somewhere down there. How about you, Charlie? Are you reading, doing exciting secret things? What are you doing tonight?
I've got a few bits to organise, emails to send out, bits to do. I've also got some reading I want to do, although that is very much taking a backseat because yesterday I somehow read 3 books. Well, I say I still read 3 books.
Somehow.
I would like to point out that they were all like novellas, so they were like between 200 and 300 pages each. And my personal life, family things happened yesterday. Well, the day before, and yesterday was very much I'm gonna just lay in bed and read until I feel better kind of day, because there was no way I was going to be able to do
functioning things.
Yeah, functioning things. So I read loads yesterday. So yeah, I'm probably gonna mostly be doing work. Some of which I will be able to tell you about, and some of which I will not. Terrible. But yeah, so hopefully a bit of reading as well.
That sounds very nice. How about you, Paul? Are you going to try and have a little relax? We're obviously all having a bit of a week.
Yeah,
we just try and have some nice quiet time together.
Well, I'm going to try and listen to an audiobook. I'm going to try and listen to Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers.
Cool.
Because I'm kind of also like having issues with physically reading because I've got a inner ear issue which has given me labyrinthitis, so I'm constantly dizzy. So trying to actually focus on reading physically is kind of hard. So I'm just going to faff about in my bullet journal and listen to an audiobook.
That sounds very nice. Yeah, so let's jump to the comments and see what other people are reading, and then we can probably jump on the first sprint since I'm a little bit late already starting. It just seems to be that night, Stephen, so don't worry about me late. I was like,
we're all late, it's fine.
Go live. It's just, this is the theme for Monday. It's because I've done it on a Monday. I've just gone completely out of my routine. Hi, Ellie. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Nice to see you on here. Normally Instagram friend.
Well, I can wash your windows.
Wax on.
Sorry, I just got distracted by Nathan telling me rhyming words. I think I said something that rhymed. He was like, "I mean, rhyming words." Hi, Reka. Thank you for coming on. Hello, Jennifer. Oh no. Nathan's like, I'm going to be the star of the show. I'm really enjoying the London setting. I wondered how I'd feel about that because I'm obviously more familiar with London than the other settings, especially because some of them are fictional. So yeah, there's been a couple of nice like historical and mythical story bits. I think Nathan's playing Kisses to You All now, so enjoy everyone through your kisses. Probably for you, Charlie, to be honest. Charlie's biased. Like Charlie was one of the first people he met like after COVID, and she like imprinted on him like a mother duck. I
think it's just the orange hair.
I don't know. It's the whole manner though. Like you actually care and talk nicely to him, and like talk on his level and stuff. You're very, very good with children. I don't know. It's the bookseller thing or just innate to you, but yeah, much appreciated anyway. In Nightfall is our YA book club pick this month, and it seems so far to be a really popular choice. Everybody seems to really enjoying it. I'm glad you love it too. I thought you might.
I'll just hit that one.
Yay! It's so good. See, look at that cover. Like I would have bought it for the cover, and then somebody said it's a Lost Boys retelling, but everybody's a girl instead. I was like, yeah, sold.
And it's also floppy.
Yeah, I am quite enjoying opening it on my lap and it just being ready to read and not having to actually hold it.
There's just something so satisfying about a floppy book.
It really, we don't know what it is, but it hits somewhere.
It hits a spot for me.
It really does.
They're a bit divisive. Like when you see it on social media, they seem to be popular, then some people absolutely loathe them as well. And I was like, I have quite strong things. I do like them, but I wouldn't say.
It's just. I'll literally, if I get one off the shelf, I'll be like this for about 5 minutes before I start reading it.
Especially if you don't like to, especially if you don't like to like crack the spines of your books.
Yeah.
Like, so like with a traditional paperback, you kind of like, if you don't relax it, you kind of like this, try to read it. But with a floppy one, you could just be like, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be like
inviting you to read it. It's like,
it is. I don't know why they do it because it's definitely a US UK divide thing. I'm sure because
it's something to do with the way they print it, the text. So it's something to do with the paper grain. Like the paper grain going either way means it'll be either a floppy book or a not floppy book.
Yeah, I don't profess to understand these things. UCLan printed my second book using a different method and they tried to explain it to me. And I was just like, I'm really sorry, but I don't understand.
Will people be able to read it?
Well, yeah. And I think a lot of it is cost, isn't it? That the cost of books are going up and up and up. So it was a case of, we know we're going to print a fair few of these books. So let's do it a really efficient way where we can reprint it easily. Whereas the first book, obviously, they didn't know how many they're going to print because a book could do well or not do well. I haven't read any of Stephanie. Oh no, I tell a lie. I have read There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I haven't read any of the books.
The neon text, aren't they? Like,
yeah,
I'm feeling that's like a dark bluey wood with like.
Yeah, I think so. Like, is it green?
Like, green or pink text, something along those lines.
Yeah, I feel like the first one might have been pink and the second one's a different colour. But yeah, I quite enjoyed the first one. It's a slasher. I think she normally writes romance and she's kind of moved on to like
I was thinking it reminds me of romance. I think I read like romance trilogy.
Yeah, was it Somebody in the French Kiss?
Yeah, Anna in the French Kiss and
yeah,
Lola and the Boy, I think.
Yeah, I have a couple of them. I haven't read the romance ones.
Early BookTube books.
Oh yeah, probably pre my BookTube time. Good. Get some productive things and some reading done. Excellent. Some serious work going on.
Jesus.
Cool. Well, use them for motivation if you
can.
Yeah, I know. I wrote a dissertation and that was enough. Yeah, I know. Oh, hi, Stephen. Now here live. Thank you for joining us. Yay! Oh, gosh, this happens occasionally where I'm like, people are reading my book. I'm going to hide now. It's weirder, actually, the other way, though, when I turn on a sprint to do it and somebody's got it there and I'm like, oh, gosh, they're going to talk about what they think of it in a minute. Turn the TV off quick. Thank you.
Shush.
Thank you. I know, but it's a weird thing. Like, it's where I tread the line between author and book reviewer. I just have to make sure that I don't want people to feel uncomfortable and be like, I love it because I'm just saying it because you're here. Yeah, it's just weird. I love it, but it's weird at the same time. Yeah, just on the subject of book clubs, there are some cool book club reads going on. I am going to be hopefully doing the Point Horror book club next month. I'm rubbish at reading for book clubs at the minute, apart from my own. And then we are reading You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight for the YA one, which I'm excited about because it's been on my TBR this month and I missed it. So I'm glad that people voted and made me accountable. I'm actually going to read some books on my TBR now that I pre-ordered. Okay, so we've got back to about normal timing. Hopefully there'll be no more catastrophes. I'm looking in somebody's
Don't say that.
I mean, hopefully they'll be on my end now. I've said that, so it's fine. I don't think I'll be putting anybody to bed because they look wide awake. Oh, Nathan's never going to close his eyes, so that's what my night is going to be like.
Neither is my little boy either, so it's fine.
He is very determined. Okay, so I'm going to go to a sprint and we will catch up at the other end. I may go and try and put him to bed. I may not. He's going to stick his head in front of the screen now. Look. Oh, Nathan would like to ask you all, where do penguins go to dance?
I don't know. Do you know where penguins go to dance?
Where do penguins go to dance, Nathan? He's gone shy now. Where do they go to dance? The snowball.
Of course.
That's
silly
Nathan's
me.
First and favourite joke that he now tells.
It
so
is
well
a
done,
very
darling.
good joke.
Charlie said it's a very good joke. Well done. So on that note, everybody, I'm going to put a sprint on. I don't know what's going to happen here. If my camera goes off, you'll know why. I will see you all in 40 minutes.
20 past 8, so 5 minutes, 22. That's about right. Oh, he's talking about.
Hello, is this supposed to be the end of the sprint? I'm really confused. Oh, are we okay? So we're going to go back to sprinting, yeah? Hello. He had a shock, Charlie. I completely missed that. All I saw was the two of you like waving. I was like, are they trying to get my attention? Like, did my cat not go off or something? Did you have a scare, my dear?
So I was working and I was like really into what I was like typing, and I was listening to my audiobook, and then all of a sudden Rob's face was like here and I screamed.
Is it that? I'm glad you were muted. Gosh, can you imagine like the screen ringing out? Was it like that horror movie moment, Paul, where you're going, it's behind you, behind you?
Well, no, I just looked up right at the time when I just saw this head just go, huh? And the dog just...
So yeah,
it was amusing.
Rob like snuck on me.
Honestly,
the dog was there. Rob was there. I was like, what the hell's going on? You know, when you properly just get zoned into something.
Yeah.
And I heard absolutely nothing.
Honestly, I wondered if like your cat meowed and you thought that it had ended. You were trying to tell me or something. I was like, oh, it's just gonna be one of those nights, isn't it? Well, I know in the next sprint I'm gonna try and put little boy to sleep, so I may just have to vanish for a little while. I'm in like a chapter that I really don't want to write. I'm doing something really horrible to a character I really like, and it's really difficult because it was bad, and I'm now editing it and making it worse. So I'm like sort of enjoying myself in a sick way, but also like, I don't want to do this. Can't everyone just be happy in books? Why do we have to make things miserable?
Never trust a YA author. I've said it before.
Just remember, like, if this book sells and comes out in like 2 years' time or something, remember that I've done something really horrible to somebody that I hope you're going to like. There's a baby frog that Nathan's watching.
I don't think you're going to be able to put him to bed in the next sprint.
I feel like he's like gone past that point. He's still very cute and lively, but he has got the sleepy eyes going for him now. So people love Nathan's penguin jokes. This is good. I do think he has a career in stand-up. He probably needs more than a repertoire of 1 or 2 jokes, but no, you've done enough jokes now. Oh, he's saying bonjour now, just showing off his French. Just to
speaks better French than me.
Yeah, just get a picture of what it is that I'm dealing with here. Hello, Amal. Thank you for joining us. Pretend You're Mine. That's a good title. Have you heard of that?
No.
Mm-mm. Interesting. Are you like me, Amal, where I always have at least one of them going on, and I'm slightly dreading doing my wrap-up this weekend because I feel like it's going to be 3 books read, 8 books currently reading. I'm having one of those ones. Audiobook chosen by Grace. Nice. Magical Readathon. I feel like somebody's told me about this and I've forgotten.
Yeah, I still need to do my TBR for that. It's G from the Book Roast. It started off as the Harry Potter magical readathon thing.
Yeah, I remember.
But then obviously it got moved away from Harry Potter, and she's created like this whole like world and things, and it's like the Aurelian Readathon. It's insane the amount of work that she's put into it. It's amazing. So I still need to do my TBR for that too.
I've kind of already made a TBR pile, so I might see if I can make it fit. So we'll bring Hans' comment back up. Yeah, I've done the same thing. I've chosen like loads of adult books for this month. I just can't. I normally try and have some light stuff, and I've got like a few adult horrors on my list for some reason. So I don't know how my next month's going to go because I've been reading like 3 books a month. Well, this month's looking like a low month of like my usual short stuff that I read. Let's see. Excellent. Oh, that sounds... I mean, I was going to say that sounds nice, but I have one and that's hard work. So awesome, but my sympathies. Ooh, that sounds terrifying. I was going to say, Charlie, I feel like there's a few words there that are just making you like...
Right. I don't even like going, well, I don't mind going. I like the beach. I ain't wading out into the sea, not when I can't see what I'm standing on.
Have you had the conversation with Rosie about she's got an actual phobia of submerged human-made objects? And if they're natural, it's okay, but human-made, she really doesn't like.
If I saw one of those seas, which I've only ever seen in photographs, where you can see the floor, fine. Mm-hmm. But I ain't going to Skegness and putting my toes in that water without knowing what's below.
I feel like the sea might be slightly safer. Sorry, a small person just walked on my camera cable and it just went like that.
So
No, I'm okay with the sea. I'm good.
I don't mind it too much.
Sea horror, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it gets lower,
sea.
when I can't safely get to the surface with a held breath, that's when I start to worry. It's like, if it gets any deeper than that.
I don't like it in the sea if I'm much out of my depth. Like standing up, I can go for a little swim, but I've got to be able to see my depth. Not a fan, Charlie. Just not a fan.
You're just a little paddler. You're just like, I'll dip my toes in and that's it.
I can see what I'm standing on. I'm fine. I just like there's like crabs and jellyfish and like what I'm thinking.
I've got a scar on my toe. I was in Lanzarote when I was on holiday when I was a kid with my parents, and I was swimming in like a lagoon area. And I thought I'd like kicked my leg and I thought I'd like hit my foot on some rocks, but I actually pulled my foot out of the sea and there was like a little green crab attached to my foot.
I mean, kind of funny in hindsight, but
invented swimming pools. Yeah. They tend to be a lot warmer, and there's no crabs, jellyfish, deep sea monsters, sharks.
You do have them, darling. Sorry, Nathan interjected.
It provided a good story.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the woes of the past, you can kind of pull them out, can't you, as like anecdotal fodder, but not fun at the time.
So I will not be reading deep sea horrors anytime soon.
Yeah.
I only want to carry trailers.
Oh, Nathan's collecting trailers right now. Hi, Chloe. Hope your editing is going well. Yeah, we had a slight false alarm. I think we've resolved it. Rob's just causing chaos. Nice, Ellie.
It was even funnier when I looked at the screen and I realised Paula had seen. I was like,
oh. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Hope it can make you be productive. Oh my gosh. I don't know what that specific phobia is. Is that the same one as Charlie's or a different one?
I think
yeah.
Might
be. I think that's impressive that you know that's a specific phobia and you're just speaking it out in your reading material. I was pretty good. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. Ooh, I haven't read any of those yet. I do have Gideon. I feel like you love those, Charlie, don't you? Yeah.
I didn't like the first one. I don't know if I should try, because I listened to it on audio, and there's sometimes when I listen to a book on audio, I don't get the nuance of it or something. So it's like I'll tend to read it or get a copy in physical. It happened with Black Sun. It's like I really did listen to the audio of Black Sun, and everyone was just like, "Why do you not like it? It's amazing!" And I was just like, "I'll give it another go physically."
I think it's difficult with reading because it's subjective anyway, but sometimes you're just not in the mood. Like I have occasionally like just tackled something again and I'm like, I was in the wrong headspace when I first tried it and now it's genius, or I loved it last time and now it's terrible. Like, Yay! How many are there, Charlie? The three?
Three so far.
There's three so far.
So I need to read one.
There's another one coming. So what it was meant to ignore my dog. It was meant to be a trilogy, but it's not now.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, we all have our specific niche nopes, and yeah, I don't know. Either of those things make me feel a bit squishy.
See, my brain's like, how is the open ocean fine? So many creepy things.
I get it though. You've got like caves and undertows and lagoons. I get that. So, how did the spring go for you two? Apart from being terrified, Charlie, how did it go?
I mean, yeah, it was.
Have you recovered now?
I don't really know if I'll ever recover. Like, you know, when you just like, I was so zoned in, and now my brain's a bit like wired. Yeah, it's a bit like waiting for something else to happen. It's just
no.
But yeah, got quite a few like little tasks wrapped up.
Good.
Listened to my audiobook. Had to rewind it after I squealed. But yeah, it's gone pretty well, and now I've started laying out. I'm doing photos for things.
Oh, nice.
I just got the pre-order of that from Waterstones. Have you got the sprayed edges one?
I've just got pink edges. But can I just say, like, this is fine, but like, why? Oh, just it's got Mount Olympus on it, maybe.
That's beautiful. I kind of want it just like that. Like, I don't think I need the slip sheet thing.
I actually think you'd like this one. It's very
You know what? I keep looking at it and going, is this a book for me or not?
Black Heat, if you liked that.
I did.
It's very similar. It's that kind of like feminine rage.
Yeah, I mean,
we're all about feminine rage.
If it's grounded in a world, even if it's a totally magical world, like say Weep in Laini Taylor's books, if it's grounded in a world I can see in my head and imagine, and it isn't pulled down with all this politics and terminology,
Greek mythology. So you kind of know
vaguely aware.
It's not like there's nothing like if you've seen a few kind of Greek films ever, like even Percy Jackson, that kind of thing. Like it's not a really deeply complex world where you have to know
that is good
about all the different elements of kind of Greek myth.
See, I used to teach it when I was teacher, so I kind of know them pretty well. So I think I maybe be okay with it.
Like it's nothing like the world building's nothing too like crazy.
Excellent.
But yeah, if you liked Black Heat, I think you would like this. It's that same kind of like angry,
cool
woman doing her own thing vibe.
I don't know if you can actually see the sprayed edges on there. It says "To Hell with Love."
Yeah, I did. I saw that edition in Waterstones, nearly bought it the weekend, and then I was like, I've come in to sign some books and like make some money, and then I could just buy a hardcover.
A bee in the house.
I don't think it was a bee, Dan. I think it might be a fly. Nathan keeps proclaiming things like wasps and bees and terrifying me in there. I think it's a fly, Dan. We'll be okay. Let Mommy just finish talking for 1 more minute. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how certain books, I don't know the Locked Tomb, but I feel like certain ones are specifically like...
I don't know how well I would have enjoyed it if I listened to it via audio.
Yeah.
I've just read that. That's very good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely subjective. I think me too, Ellie. I have the first book and I keep looking at it and being like, I don't know if it's my thing, and I know everybody loves it, and
it's a weird one. I love it because it's a bit bonkers and silly and sarcastic and
it's
dark.
I don't know why, but it read kind of like sci-fi fantasy to me. It kind of
like definitely it's, and I adore it. But what I will say is it's a bit like what's it called? It's one of those books where you have to be okay with being confused.
Yeah, that's exactly what somebody's just said in the comments.
Like,
it's really good.
I swear. You know exactly what's happening.
You're on the same page.
I think that's why I didn't like it, because I listened to it on audiobook.
Yeah.
And I think when you're reading physically, you can kind of like, I don't know, put a tab in the page or like, you know, go, hang on, what just happened? And it's a lot easier when you're physically
kind of like
reading.
Twisty-turny like thing.
I do a lot of rereading as well, and I think sometimes if an audiobook is like that, like you said, you get stuck, or you want to go back and just read something again, or like pause for a moment. The audiobooks left me 5 minutes ago, so yeah, I don't know. I will read at some point, but I think based on what you've just said, I'm going to try physical book.
I just got a comment from Alex on my latest video. Just she says you're an inspiration, Paula. Congrats on 8 years.
Oh, that's cool.
So I did 8 years on YouTube.
Oh, I'm really behind. I'll have to watch that. Congratulations. That's cool. I don't know how long I've been doing it since my book came out, basically. How long is that? Is that 2 years? I'm looking at Kev because Kev knows. So I did quite a few virtual events in early 2021 because there were no bookshops open, and I thought, I like virtual events. I started mine like a little bit later that year, so I've been going a couple of years. Bless Nathan, he's still chattering away to himself.
Well, I think mine's actually my little one's actually falling asleep. I think so.
Oh well, I'm gonna try.
Sorry, it'll be waking up at 3 a.m. So I'd rather mine still be awake now and sleep through the entire night without waking up at 3 a.m.
At the moment, we're generally going 7 p.m. to about 11, and then 11 to about 4, and it's hit or miss then. Sometimes like we really want to get up at 4. But generally we can talk him back for a couple more hours. So yeah, we get a few hours usually, but not always, as evidence tonight. Okay, so I'm going to turn my camera off, head upstairs. I hope there's no more catastrophes. I've said it again, Charlie, so I'm probably going to call you. Rob, if you're listening, behave.
Just watching me now, aren't they, to see if something else happens?
Yeah, Rob set you up now for every other spell.
Chair or something.
It'd be fine.
Oh, okay, so hopefully I'll be back in 5 minutes, ready to write, but who knows? Did I ask you, Paula, how you got it? Did I ask you? I can't remember.
No. It's okay.
How did it go? How did it go? How did it
go? How was your bullet journaling?
I've got so far writing the title. Because I take notes because it's a book for my book club. So I was actually listening to a different audiobook while I was doing that. So I was listening to Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade.
That was a good one.
It's a romance. So
that'll be why I've not heard it.
Yeah. No, I actually read them. Like I have a real penchant. Is that the right word? I've never know how to say that.
I read romance now, but only if it's like UK YA romance. Otherwise,
yeah.
And
like,
generally, I feel like
Life with Love, that was great. I mean, it broke my heart into tiny little pieces.
Which one was that?
The Half-Life of Love.
Right.
Pink.
I think I read that.
Pink. Yeah, like, don't make it sad. I should have known when it came with like tissues that I was not in for a great
and it's
time.
called Half-Life as well, Charlie. I feel like that gives you a bit of a clue. It sounds like it's not going to end well for somebody.
Right. It was. I just. You know, when you just want everyone to be happy. I'm that person. I'm that terrible reader that's just like, no, they are my friends and I want them to be happy. And that's why I have trust issues when it comes to YA authors.
I know. I mean,
I have trust issues with authors in general because it's just
we're not.
You tend to like, you know, make us love something, someone so much, and then you're just like, I'll just rip your still beating heart out, show it to you.
I've started to expect it. The more I like a character, the more convinced I am that like something bad is going to happen to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just.
You're also nice to me in real life.
Honestly, right? Like Naomi Gibson.
The second I read what you write, you just like stomping on my heart, and I'm like, come on.
I mean, I think the sweeter the writer, like the meaner the stuff they write. Like I think, have you met Naomi, Charlie? She's like tiny and really, really sweet and absolutely lovely, like the nicest person. And she writes these twisted, like sci-fi mess with your head.
Yeah.
What will pull it along?
Forgiven Holly. I don't think I'll ever forgive Holly for that trilogy.
I haven't read them just because, you know, fantasy, but you've put me off now. I feel like it might upset me too much.
Like, it's not necessarily that it's like twisty dark. I mean, it's pretty dark. She just has a way of making you fall in love with people, even after a chapter, and then you message her and you're like, oh my god, I love this person. She's like, oh yeah, they're one of my favorites. Dead. Oh, this person can't die because you've just taken like these people away from me. I'm like, this is new. Dead.
Is it like Game of Thrones? What make it YA? Sounds like it.
Literally, like the second I felt like it got to book 3, and like the second I felt myself like feeling anything for anyone, I got terrified because I was like, I don't want them to.
I think the sweeter the person is in real life, the more dark and twisted they are. I mean, look at Sharon. She's like so lovely, and it's like,
that is very true. I love Sharon's bits, but then
Yeah, Sharon's a good example. People in my work were really confused when I said I'd got a book deal, and they were like, "What have you written about?" And I was like, "Murder in 1990s New Orleans." And they're like, "Where's the unicorns and the bunnies and the princesses?" Like,
See?
we might have those in the future. I just would, murder them. It's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go
Even the comment. Sorry, Sharon's put a comment on saying like the last one that I don't trust happiness, I prefer heartbreak and gore. See?
On that note, I'm gonna
I
mark.
love you,
In
Sharon,
fact,
but we're very different people.
yeah. I mean,
I want all my characters to be okay. I want them to get happily ever afters.
It can ruin something though. Like, I loved Bones and I wanted them desperately to get together, and I'm not going to give. I think it's been out long enough at this point, but when certain couples eventually do
It's like
get
when
together,
Mulder and Scully got together, it just kind of ruined it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, there's all the tension that I was enjoying just evaporated. So yeah, I think sometimes you want it as a reader. You think you want them to be happy, but you actually don't. You want everybody to be miserable and stuff.
No, I don't. Maybe I'm just a nicer person than you, Amy, because I would quite like everyone to be happy.
Real
you
people,
like yourself
yes.
to be happy.
Yeah, real people, yes. Fictional people, no.
Yeah, but I think don't write them so good, because in my head they are all real people and they're all my friends, and you're all really mean to them.
It's all right though, because when you're writing a trilogy and you realise that you've offered some really good characters that you wanted to use later, we have ourselves to blame for that too. I could have done with a couple of characters in book two.
I hope you feel bad about that.
Yeah. Honestly, I really did that.
That
I was
actually does make me feel a little bit better.
So yeah, there were two characters in particular. I was just like, yeah, I could have done with you. But the third book, if there's not going to be any more, anything could happen, couldn't it? Because I don't need them anymore. So everybody's
you've already put the lovelies through so much. You've already put them through so much.
I mean, it's a cult. It's a cult now. They've got to get away from a cult alive. So just slightly veered
They
off.
should just take over the cult and become the new leaders.
Yeah, a new cult.
Yeah, but Mina would have everybody like, okay, we're going to all learn about serial killers today. So it wouldn't be any happier really than what the actual cult's doing. But yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. We worship at the altar of serial killers. Okay. On that note, me and Charlie love serial killers. Let's do a sprint. I'm going to try and get a little person to bed. So wish me luck.
Good luck.
I'll see you in 40 minutes. Sorry, not organised. Just realised I'd taken my headphones out, not put them back in time. I could do some of that Charlie bit stretch, I think, is needed. Nathan is still awake upstairs with his daddy. So that's how our evening's going.
Come here then.
It's like, I think it's just, you've been there, Paula, I'm sure, like, you know, past the point of no return where they're like, I'm awake now, I'm in fact every fibre of my being.
That's where the noise.
Yeah, we're the noise. We're the noise. It's like, okay, I've seen you now. Go away, human.
Yeah, I've had enough now. You're a pain, aren't you?
Aww. Animals and children. Wonderful, but also hard work.
Yes.
So I
How do they have their own autonomy?
No, I mean, rude. I nearly finished this really awful scene that I'm writing. So I need to do that in the next sprint. Yeah, I was feeling quite sad and like slightly emotional, and then thought I was like, oh god, 10 seconds left. So I haven't finished the scene, but I'm this close. How about you, Charlie? Did you have a good sprint?
Yeah, I've been planning, doing bits, listening to my book. I put some stuff away and organised some stuff for tomorrow. I picked up some flowers because somebody unarranged them, didn't you?
Oh, right. Again, children and animals, that sounds fairly... I've managed to tidy one end of the lounge today, like try to clear up the chaos, and as I was doing the last sprint, Nathan like untidied it, so now the whole lounge is just chaos. How about you, Paula? Good sprint?
Yeah, I mean, I kept on with spoiler alert. I finished my...
Every time you say that, I think you're going to say a spoiler, and I'm ready for it, and then I'm like, oh no, what's the title?
No, this one.
Yeah. Nice. Sorry, what were you going to say before I got confused?
It's okay. So I finished my title page for the book that I should be reading, but I decided to try and figure out my TBR for the Aurelium Readathon, so the magical Readathon. So I'm just putting down the prompts and stuff now and trying to figure stuff out.
I love doing that. I'm going to try it and see, but I know what I want to read next month, so if it doesn't fit, I might have to bow out. But
I can't do read-alongs. I don't know why I do TBRs at all.
See, I'm normally a mood reader, but if I can set
you know what it is? If I tell my brain it's going to do something, it's like, now you're not.
Yeah.
Lol, you think, you wish.
Well, one of the prompts is read a book about with vampires in it, so I'm going to read this.
Yay, read Alex's. It's so cute. It's really good and creepy too. Like, doesn't just feel middle grade. It's like...
So that's the only one I know that I'm going to be reading.
Good choice. Yeah, I do set a TBR and I tend to read stuff from that, but if I want to read something else, I do. Like Shiver Point, book 1, It Came from the Woods, is like a middle grade goosebumpsy book that turned up last month, and it wasn't on my TBR, and I was just like, I'm just going to read this immediately. So I will add stuff if I want to, but this is why there's some books I'm like, yes, it's here again. It's not a bad book. I just haven't got around to reading it yet. Not the book's fault, my fault.
And now I want to read, how do you say Fevered Star? It's Fevered Star, right? After Black Sun.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see the word from over here and I was like, but fevered doesn't feel like it's a word. You know, when you say something and it doesn't match what you think it should sound like in your brain.
It's like when you write something down and it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
all the time.
I know I want to read that, and there's a few other books. But also, we're getting to a point that I am quite alarmed in that I've read most of the books on my shelf.
Wow. I don't think I will ever. I think I've got more books than I can actually physically ever read.
I was literally going through my shelves because this past 6 months has been it's been a lot, personal and health-wise. And this last week, there were certain things that got to a point and I was like, right, I need to read something. And I just kept opening books and reading 2 chapters and being like, this is not what I need to read right now. You know, when it's like, there was nothing wrong with any of these books. They just weren't. I needed something a bit silly and sarcastic and you know. And then I
A
was
palate
like,
cleanser.
yeah, like, and I was picking books off my shelf, and I was like pulling things off, and I was like, I've actually read the majority of these.
Impressed.
Which is scary, but also gives me a very good excuse to go shopping.
Yeah.
At least in my brain it does.
Yes.
I mean, I'm saving for a wedding. But, you know.
Yeah, but books are mental health, little cubes of mental health. So, you know, I class them as a necessity.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I use my business account for books because I'm like my author business account. So I feel like they are, because I'm allowed to tax deduct them or whatever. My accountant husband will tell me, but he's upstairs. So I consider them as research to better myself as an author. and I spend from that account because
it's true,
my
though,
author money goes in it and it just goes out again as books.
It's true though. You should do that because, you know,
you can't be a good author if you're not reading other people's stuff.
No.
And anybody who tells you otherwise, I disagree. I think
so what
something.
you're saying is we all need to write and at least publish one book so we can get tax deductible books.
Or
I think that's what I said. Maybe
I could like hire you as Paper Oranges something.
Yeah,
and then we could at least get YA ones tax deductible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think that we do pretty well in terms of like publishers sending stuff. I still get that moment where I'm like, oh, I just got a free book. That is really what I needed today. Thank you, universe. Thank you, publishers. Like, I don't get sent absolutely loads.
Like, anytime I get sent anything, I'm like, because I just imagine it's me screaming into the void.
Yeah.
Like, I very rarely acknowledge that anybody listens to anything I say.
And on another note, I have got a few copies of my book, hopefully coming this week. I think A Taste of Darkness.
I may have been emailed about that.
I hear that it was in a warehouse last week. If you get it before me, Charlie, I'm going to be like, this always happens.
I can't remember who, but somebody from the Scholastic team emailed me.
Was it Harriet? Yeah, it might have been Harriet.
No, it wasn't. That's why I can't remember. Because
yeah, there's somebody who was it Eleanor?
No, I don't think so. But there was like, anyway, you're on my list for people to send.
Yay!
To, and they were like, "Do you want it?" And I was like,
"I hope you went, yes, please."
I was like, "I'm not sure." Amy McCaw's in there, and
like Rosie. We know you don't like Rosie either. Like,
no, don't like Rosie either.
Catherine.
I was like, "Yes, please." It's got like everyone. Like, it's got so many of my favorite like YA authors that I can't say no.
Well, also, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I mean. I really want it to come. I've read it so many times, though, particularly my own story. I've read everybody else's a few times too. So I don't think I'll get any surprise when I read it, but I'm still going to read it and just like, and it's that thing, it's physical. It's in my hands.
Yeah, it's seeing the finished, like,
it's real
product. Yeah.
See, mine's just pre-ordered. No one sends me anything.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that too. I need both sides of this coin. I need people to buy it and I need people to shout about it on their social media. So yeah. It's scary, it's exciting, it's all the things. I'm going to go to the comments for like writing that emotional scene and then talk about this. I'm just going to cry on camera. Hello,
I'm just looking at these pictures and seeing these bookshelves and being like, I wonder what they've got that I could read.
Yeah. I don't know what the context of this is, Stephen, but yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know whether you saw that I got a little Wednesday Addams Living Dead doll. And Mia straight away puts on there, I'm like, I'm sure she's haunted, Amy. I was like, yeah, probably. At this point, everything I buy looks like a little bit weird, like it might be possessed. So it's fine. Bringing friends to the group. Please come stay. We're here every Thursday, most Mondays. Very nice to see new faces. I really need to read Back in Chambers. Yeah,
also, the two. I really want to read the two main ones that everybody's been talking about recently. The one that you was on about earlier, and the other one,
the Storm of the Wild Bill.
Yeah.
But
they're hardbacks, and therefore like £10.
But they're tiny.
And my brain's like, if I wait a little bit, they'll either do them in paperback or they'll do like a bind up of them.
Do you have any Audible credits?
Oh, I will have, actually. Is it good audio?
Well, I've only listened to the first half of the first chapter so far, so it's still kind of set up at the minute, but it's decent.
Some voices, I always have to sample them first because some voices,
particularly YA can be really hit and miss, I think, because sometimes they get somebody who's clearly like my age or older, and I'm like, you're meant to be a 16-year-old girl. I can't suspend my disbelief. And yeah, sometimes you've got a character's voice in your head, and then you hear the voice, and you're like, oh, that's not you, and it's not the actor's fault. It's just that you heard something in your head.
I'm terrible when it's like I've read book 1 physically. I can't then listen to book 2 most of the time because the voice doesn't match what I've imagined.
I just had it recently with I listened to A Court of Frost and Starlight because of all what's going on. And it's like the story was okay. It's a novella, it's a little filler piece.
It's an okay, it's a cute little Christmassy-ish thing, isn't it?
But the person, I mean, it's the first time it's told from many perspectives, and the person that's narrating the audiobook, she gives no inflection and no voice changes or anything for any character. So it's there's been times where I've had to physically pick up my phone and be like, who's talking right now? Right, Cassian, okay. Because she was just really bad at she was really bad at not putting things on for other characters and doing different voices or inflections or anything. It was bad.
Yeah, I think that's where I struggle because it's also the part of my brain that has used sound as background noise for lots of things. So if it's not the right voice, then my brain will just use it as background noise, and I'll be 20 minutes in and be I can't remember the last thing that I actually remember them saying. So
yeah, that's the challenge of audio, I think. You got a question, Paula. How is spoiler alert?
It's cute. It's spicier than I thought it would be. It's fine.
Surprise spice.
We like it. I do hold a little bit of disbelief about someone's parents are in the teaching sector, and they completely missed the fact that their child was dyslexic.
Yeah, I mean,
they were they're professors and things, so it's just yeah.
I think you probably I don't know, as a teacher,
they realise.
I taught for 10 years, and you start to see patterns of children. All children can have incredibly unique and complex mixtures of needs, but you start to see the kind of place, spectrum type behavior, autistic spectrum, and
so I'm holding a little bit of disbelief with that.
Yeah, it's difficult when you've got some personal knowledge, isn't it? I feel like that whenever education comes up in fiction, and whenever being an author comes up in fiction, it's I'm paid a 7-figure deal and I write the book in 3 weeks and it's printed in a month's time. And you're no, just stop it. So yeah, I think anything that feels personal, they've got to get it right. I mean, Sharon's telling me to kill them all, so do I listen to the little Sharon?
Sorry, I've just got little images of 2 little devil Sharons sitting on each shoulder.
Charlie's one, make everybody happy, and Sharon's kill. It's nice. You bring your friends.
If you having words for you, Sharon, I don't know why I'm pointing this blue spreader at you, but
the point is coming across, Charlie. I mean, this sounds like you're still reading the book in the Gideon series, so it sounds like it's progressing as expected.
It's good confused. I'm sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. It has to be confused in that the author's intentionally confusing you, and I think that comes across that it's not just confused for no reason, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But it is a very like confusing
Sharon
series
reckons
of books.
she's being all sweet now and confusing us, Charlie. She's saying that we should read the Becky Chambers Wayfarer books after saying
the first one's like the long way to a small angry planet.
Yeah.
I think I did have that at some point.
Yeah, so did
Maybe
I.
I've got a book I haven't read.
Yeah, and it didn't last. I'm going to put us on another sprint because it's gone quiet. So I'm going to go and investigate the upstairs situation. Could it be that Kev and Nathan have fallen asleep? Possible. So I'm going to go find out.
The house has gone quiet as well, so I'm guessing that D&D is finished downstairs.
Okay. Fun. So you may get tormented again. Okay, so I'm going to pop us on a 30-minute sprint. I'm going to disappear for
Hello, can you hear me? Good. I unplugged my headphones. So
As soon as you unmuted us, I can't actually hear you now.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
there you go.
I think you're just too far away from the computer.
Probably. Okay, I'm going to get closer. So yeah, I had a weirdly good sprint. I finished that scene. You're welcome for the pain in the future because it gave me pain writing it. I tidied up a little bit, not that you'd know it to look, and I finished this book. Have either of you heard of it? It's Cryptid Club.
I saw it on your haul,
Are they
and I was
teeth
like,
or
I need that.
ghosts?
They're
Ghosts.
legs.
Oh, they're legs.
Yep, disembodied legs. They are. So this is a book about little cryptid creatures. They are. Let me find what they're called. Fresno nightcrawlers. And it's like little cute sort of one-page stories or anecdotes about cryptids. So about supernatural creatures and like them making friends with each other and being misunderstood. It's so cute and wholesome and lovely. If you read Fangs by Sarah Anderson, it's different from that because it's small. It's like smaller things that aren't even really stories. Have you read this, Paula?
I haven't. Like I said, I saw it on your thing, and I was like, ooh, intrigued.
It's very cute. Let me just see if I can show you. I mean, so like, there's just really cute illustrations of sort of things that you'd recognize, like aliens, but there'll be like a little cute story and illustrations of them. It's awesome and really short. So if you want it like me, you're like, oh my god, I haven't read any books this month. Get this one. So cheating my way to.
And it seems like, you know, a cute little fluffy like stories that, you know, palate cleansers. So things that you might need, Charlie.
But then you read the actual at the back. It kind of tells
All
you
the palette cleansers. All of them.
Well, at the back it tells you like the actual like what these creatures are, and they're a little bit more sinister, some of them, than they're portrayed in the story. But yeah, it's good fun. So yeah, I feel quite good, although tired now after the dramas of the evening. How about you, Charlie? Nobody jumped out behind you in that one, did they?
No, it's pretty chill here. I've been writing some reviews.
Excellent.
I've actually written my review for The City of Stardust, which I think you should read, Amy, because it is very, very Daughter of Smoke and Bone-esque.
City of what? What was that? City of Stardust, did you say?
Yeah.
Is that already out, or was that an arc?
It's a arc. Let me have a look. Okay. See, I've put pressure on myself now, and I'm not dealing with it well.
Just breathe. It's fine.
Just breathe. I'm an adult. I can do this. You know when your brain just like, how was she doing that thing? Like,
yeah, it's late and you're trying to function, so I understand.
I think my brain just puts in an attempted.
Oh yeah.
But it's very long. The best way I can think of to describe it is kind of Daughter of Smoke and Bone meets Darker Shades of Magic with the London.
Okay, that's cool.
I think you'll like
up.
I can't remember when it comes out though. It's sometime this year, I think.
I think this is why I find fantasy difficult, because I absolutely adore Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I'm constantly like seeking the feeling that gives me. But I think that's just specifically Laini Taylor. So yeah, I don't know.
Who was the author of that, Charlie?
You did, Amal. You were here briefly earlier.
Georgina Summers.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up as well.
I think it's a debut. I believe I read that, although I don't want to say that for certain because it will turn out they've written like 1 million books.
You never know with that. Well done, Amal. That sounds good. It's a tricky thing, debut. Like somebody might be billed as a debut author, but it's like it's called their international debut, and they've actually had UK books out.
Or it's like they've done middle grade books before, and this is like a YA, and now so I never. My brain.
I'm only seeing one book on their Goodreads. So
you got that right, Charlie. Well done.
It's published next year.
Oh, is it next year? Oh, I lied to you.
No,
January.
Well,
Well,
that's what
this year.
Goodreads says, but you know, Goodreads.
That's
lies
this
too.
year in my brain. If it's January, then it's fine.
Oh, thanks, Amal. This is the last one, so we are just going to be wrapping things up here. How did you get on, Paula?
Listen to more audiobook, which is good. Got to chapter 19 out of 30. So flying through that. Still need to pick books, but I've got quite a few prompts that are like open-ended. So I'm just like,
Such as
read a book without touching the floor, start a book before bed.
So you can read anything for those.
Yeah, read a book in a different spot each time you pick it up.
Have you read any of I'm gonna say they're silly. They're not silly. The T Kingfisher like novella magic ones, because they're really short and funny.
And I need to.
So there's my two favorite ones. One of them is Mina Maid, which is basically a book about like this wizard, but you can only do like 3 spells very well, one of which is like tying people's shoelaces. You have to go on a magical adventure. It's kind of like Terry Pratchett, but with a more kind of modern spin, you know, like silly, entertaining vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking.
Yeah, that's my other favorite one. It starts with a murder, and then it starts with a murder, and then there's everyone kind of has power over certain things. The only wizard left has power over like bread and can make things rise, so they have to defend a city with. Yeah, it's great. They're really short, funny, like entertaining things. So they could be some good ones.
Cool.
They sound very good. Let's see. I think we've just got 1 or 2 more comments, and then we will wrap it up. I'm sorry if you're just coming on because we are just about to go off, but we will be here.
Walking on a keyboard.
We'll be here on
Let me walk on your
Thursday. Probably with more kitty chaos, other people, different cats, but same chaos probably. So thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. Thank you too, as usual. It's been lovely to have you. Even actually to say that I had like young child chaos, it wasn't too bad. I did get quite a bit done, and he did do some sleeping eventually. So thanks.
I got an amazing penguin joke.
Yeah, I mean, how cute is he? He's so proud of that joke. Now that he's asleep, I can fully like. Literally, we went in Waterstones the other day, and he just walked up and was like, "Excuse me, where do penguins go to dance?" I was like, and the bookstore just stood there going.
I think one of my favorite child jokes that I heard was that what's invisible and smells of carrots.
I don't know.
Bunny farts.
I mean, maybe I'll save that one for a few years' time.
Bunny trumps.
Yeah, bunny trumps might be best.
Bunny trumps.
Although Alexa doesn't understand if you ask for trumps. It's really annoying because he wants it to trump all the time, and you have to say fart. It's terrible. On that intellectual note, to end the evening, thanks for taking me down a proper detour.
I always like to bring the level down.
Please do. I love it. Good night, everyone, and we will. I think I've already brought that up, but night, Sharon.
Night, Sharon.
We will hopefully catch you in the next one. Bye.